What's good, y'all? It's Gas, and today I'm gonna teach y'all how to make some fire lead patterns, so let's go. So I got my little chord progression laid out. Sounds like this. And I already covered how to make chord progressions, so if y'all are at all confused on this, then make sure you go check out that video. Should be in the top right now. So now that we have our chord progression down, we need a lead. Now this is literally the simplest way to make good sounding lead patterns, but I feel like a lot of people just overthink it and completely forget about this trick. So like I said, super simple. Just play out what you already have, play out the melody you already got, the chord progression, whatever you already got down, and then just hum in your head a little lead progression. It's really that simple. And just like that, by humming out the melody, I just have a nice little lead pattern going on. Sounds like this. But if you're really just burnt out of ideas and have no clue what to do, this next tip will be a huge help. So moving on, we got this button right up here. And what this button does is it allows you to play on your just usual computer keyboard and play in notes like this. Y'all get the point. But if you right click on this, then you can choose any layout. It has a whole bunch of layouts where it'll like switch up the keys that you can play. I have mine on layout piano just so I can play like all the sharps and all the keys and all that. But literally just slamming your hands down and like messing around on the keyboard until something sounds good is actually super helpful, and I use this myself. It helps me get a lot of creative ideas. So y'all see, it takes like no time at all. Just go until something sounds good. And I don't know how to play the piano at all. I'm just pressing stuff until something comes out halfway decent. So next, you want to make sure you have ghost notes enabled. And what I mean by that is these, you can see these are ghost notes. They're literally the ghost of the notes, as the name implies. And to enable these, you just want to go to this drop down menu right here, go to helpers, and then right here where it says ghost channels, just enable that. I already have mine checked off, as you can see, so I don't need to enable it, but that's how you enable it. And then here you can just make sure that you're in the scale by just putting down stuff that's on these ghost notes. So on top of that, you want to make sure that your lead patterns aren't just basic and that they actually keep the listener interested. So you can see I use some unique little tricks here in this lead pattern. First of which I want to talk about is these slide notes. So slide notes just add a little extra pizzazz to the melody. And you can see I used one right here with this F sharp note sliding up into this G sharp note. And to make these sliding, gliding type of leads, super easy. All you got to do is have a short note below the actual note that you want to have ringing out, and then just delay the top note a little bit so it actually sounds like it's sliding. So for example, this is the lead without the glide. Super generic and boring. And this is the lead with it. Just that tiny addition gives it so much more flavor. And while I was explaining that, you were probably wondering what this A sharp note is up here, and that is just a glide note that makes the lead even more interesting. You can see it's another short note that I put above the long note this time, and it sort of gives it a nice little wobble effect that keeps the lead sounding interesting and unique. And this technique is used in a whole bunch of beautiful songs. For example, None to Me by 30 Nick and Can, Hold Up Pull Up by Nico by Texaco, and I'm pretty sure it was used in NSA by Summers as well, but that's besides the point. Listen to the difference. So this is without, and then this is with. It can really be the little things like these that make your beats sound so much more interesting and unique and can really catch a listener or an artist's ear. So make sure that you guys are utilizing these. And another tip that is super important when making these leads, so y'all better listen up for this one, is to make sure that you're not overcomplicating them. And what I mean by that is that if you have multiple lead patterns going on, you want to make sure that they're not interfering with each other and using like the same frequencies and making a muddy mix. You know what I mean? You want to make sure that you have one or maybe two, but two is really stretching it, complicated lead patterns playing out, and then have the rest be simple and repetitive. So for example, I would classify this as a pretty complex lead pattern because it's going all the way through and it's not too repetitive. So if I was to add another lead on top of this, then I would want to make it a lot more simple and repetitive. And another thing I want to mention is I thought this lead sounded a little dry because I made it so simple. It's catchy, but I thought it sounded a little dry and like there was too much space going on with like these whole empty bars. So what I did is I went into the mixer and I put just a little bit of delay on it so that the space isn't so empty. And I recommend that you guys do this with your leads too. If there's just like a whole bunch of open space in the beat, it can fill it up really nicely and make sure that you don't do too much type shit. So the two leads together sound like this. I forgot to mention this, but something that I'll usually end up doing when I'm making my leads, I do this all the time, so I definitely recommend that you guys give this a shot. I'll take something that sounds like it could sound better, and then I'll put it up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 semitones, or another 2 like that, to a total of 7 semitones, and no matter what, it will sound good. And something else you can do, you could just put it up in octave by holding down Control and the up arrow, and then it'll put it up in octave just like that. And another thing is, if your lead is sounding a bit dry and you just want like something to spice it up a little bit, something that I do a lot is I'll go into the fruity chorus, keep the default settings, and I'll usually put the mix knob around like 50%. Just like that. And then what this does is it'll give it like a nice little unique sound. And you can also mess around with the fruity flangus. This will also give it a very unique sound. So this is without, and then this is with. And then last bit of sauce that I got for y'all is if you think that your lead is hitting too hard, like it's too intense sounding and you want it to be a lot more mellow, then you could just go to edit, and usually there will be an interface like this in every VST. So it's not just purity, I'm just using purity as an example. And then what you want to do is you just want to take the attack up a little bit, and then that'll make it sound a lot more mellow and like a lot less harsh. So this is before, and then this is after. So that's gonna be the video, y'all. I really hope y'all enjoyed. I feel like I gave out so much sauce for this one, and this is all stuff that I actively use. Like I use pretty much everything that I disclosed in this tutorial. I use in like almost all of my beats. So leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and make sure y'all leave a comment. Let me know what other tutorials y'all want to see. I'm really down for whatever artist, whatever skill, whatever, anything, just let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to do whatever. And also, make sure y'all join the Discord. We just hit 100 members the other day, so let's keep going up, man. Join the Discord. Link will be in the description. We have a great community going on in there, and I'll be in there, pretty active in there. So if y'all got any questions for me or for the community, go ahead in there. But that's it for me, man. As always, this has been Gas, and I'm out. Peace.